Hey everybody, and a very happy Halloween to everyone. Oh, how original I am going to be now. This is my ranking of the Halloween franchise for Halloween. I know that every man and his dog on the internet has already done this, but I haven't, so let me get on and do it. My ranking is perhaps a little bit different to most people's. Let me just say from the beginning that this is no comment on how good I think these films are. It's only how much I personally enjoy them. So with that said, in last place is the common one, Halloween Resurrection. This is a bit frustrating because this didn't need to be as bad as it is. I think that the idea behind this, to have a bunch of people go into the Michael Myers house, is a good idea, but they played it too comedically, and Busta Rhymes is just awful in this. The way that they shoehorned in the beginning to it, kind of rewrote the end of H2O. It's just really badly done, badly thought out, badly executed. I don't hate it like some people do. I do watch this with a certain degree of pleasure, but it is the worst in the franchise. Next up is maybe a surprising one, H2O. I'm just not a fan of this style of late 90s horror, and even the cover art here with the floating heads, that was very popular back in the late 90s, and speaks to the kind of film that this is. It's got that kind of irritating to me irony going on, that kind of knowing wink, like, yes, this is a horror film, but it's also kind of jokey, and we're playing with conventions. But and I also don't like the setting. I mean, this doesn't feel at all like Halloween to me. It's in the blazing California sun, and I just don't get a Halloween vibe from this. So H2O, it's a good film on a technical level, but I just don't like watching it all that much. Next up is another film which is very good. It really is. If this were a standalone film, I would think it's a fantastic film. Well, it is a fantastic film, but I just don't consider it to be a part of the franchise. I think that obviously I get what this was. Carpenter was intending to make a Halloween-themed film. Bunch of films, I mean, not necessarily with Michael Myers. I wish that they'd done both. I wish they'd carried on the Michael Myers story in one direction, but also carried on this idea to keep on making a Halloween-themed film every year or two. It's a really good one. I like it a lot, but like I said, I just don't watch it all that much because to me it's not a Halloween franchise film. Next up is The Curse of Michael Myers. I have seen the producer's cut. I don't own it, but it doesn't matter what cut I watch of this. It's all a bit of a mess to me. I was never really taken with the Thorn trilogy. It's obvious that when they started it, they had no idea how they were going to end it. They were just making it up as they went along. And this film I don't like to watch just because of Donald Pleasence doesn't look well at all in this film. I mean, he was very, very ill when he made this. He died very shortly after the film wrapped. And it's just not nice to watch the great man in such discomfort. There's a scene in the hospital where he has to break into a jog, and you can see the agony that he's in, how exhausted he is. And I just don't like to watch it for that reason. But also for other reasons, that it doesn't really make much sense if you stop and think about it. And I don't like the turn they took with this story of Michael Myers' whole rune stone thing, whatever the hell that was. All right, next up is Halloween 2018. I mentioned this in a previous video when I was talking about 2010 slasher films. This grows on me the more I watch it. I wasn't all that keen on it in the beginning. I didn't understand Jamie Lee Curtis' character in this, Laurie Strode. If we're supposed to be ignoring all of the sequels, then why is she such a basket case in this? I know that we, the viewers in the original Halloween, may have seen horrific things take place with Michael Myers, but she didn't see almost any of that. As far as she's aware, just some guy burst into her house and started trying to kill her for a while. And that's it. I don't think that would necessitate 40 years of paranoia. But anyway, I put that aside on repeated watchings and I just enjoy it for what it is. And I've really come to love this film. I'm really looking forward to Halloween Kills. They released a teaser trailer just yesterday, I think. And God only knows how they're going to bring Michael back from that explosion at the end of this, but I'm sure they'll find a way. It's not like Michael hasn't come back from worse. Next up is Halloween 5, a film that I really love as well. I don't mind the jokey comedic parts in this as much as I do in H2O. But this was a massive missed opportunity because Halloween 4 ended fantastically with, Jamie Lloyd, it seemed, killing her, was it mother? But they really kind of brushed all that aside and went in a different direction. And I think Danielle Harris was such a gifted child actress. I wish they hadn't made her mute throughout pretty much the whole of this. And I take on board people's criticisms of Loomis in this. They say that he's kind of really unpleasant in this. He's very abusive and aggressive towards Jamie, but I don't mind that. I kind of get what they were going for there. I see the Loomis-Michael relationship as kind of, Captain Ahab and the whale in Herman Melville's Moby Dick, that it's a pursuit that has turned Loomis insane. That Michael Myers' insanity has rubbed off on him. So I quite like it, and it's a little bit overlong, but anyway, there you go. Right, next up, I'm putting these together if you don't mind, because to me it's all one film. It's Rob Zombie's Halloween and Halloween 2. If I absolutely had to rank them, then I'd put Halloween 2 and then the first one. But in the same way that Tarantino's Kill Bill is one film, I think the same about this. You can't fully appreciate this film without this film, and you certainly can't appreciate Halloween 2 without Halloween 1. This is Zombie's own thing. It's got no connection to Carpenter's vision or Carpenter's atmosphere and feel. I think that here Rob Zombie, in the first film, he's taken a look at violence and what creates violence, and in Halloween 2, he does a very interesting thing. He looks at the effects of violence on the survivors. What's it called? Brad Dourif's character, the police chief, we see how the violence has affected him in this film. Obviously, we see how it's affected Laurie Strode. We see how it's affected her friends. I think that I never watch these individually. I always watch them as a pair. I'm planning to watch them tonight, as I do every Halloween Eve. I think it's a fantastic achievement. I was really put off the first time I watched it because that opening scene of Halloween is very off-putting, those awful people just being awful to each other. But I get why he did it, and I do think it sets up the character of Michael very well. So I take this on its own merits. I don't compare it in any way to Carpenter's original. This is Zombie's own vision, and I think it is brilliant. I think that this is kind of a modern masterpiece, if 13 years ago can be modern. So anyway, those two go together, and it comes in at, I'll say, number 4. Number 3, I'm sorry, but it's the original, John Carpenter's Halloween. If I were ranking these films in terms of what I think are the best films, then this would be number 1 by a country mile. This is unquestionably the best film in this franchise. It is a pioneering film. It is superbly made. Everything, it's classic scene after classic scene. But I've just seen it too many times, and I don't rewatch it all that much now. And I even if I hadn't seen it so many times, I would still rank the following 2 over it, because they're just the kind of thing that I like more than this. This is a great film. It honestly is. But I just prefer the 2 that are to follow. So John Carpenter's original Halloween, and at number 3. Number 2, Halloween 2. I love how contained this film is. Almost the entire thing takes place in the hospital. I love the atmosphere, the very dark atmosphere. It all takes place at night. I like very much that it just continues straight after the first one. Like with Zombies films, by the way, I always watch these 2 together. I never these days watch either one of these separately. It's always together that I watch these. So yeah, Halloween 2, it just edges it for me over the original. Great kills, fun characters, a good finale, constant action. Nothing outstays its welcome. It's never boring. So anyway, that comes there. And so number 1, obviously, is Halloween 4. This for me is the perfect Halloween film. I can't fault a single thing about this one. Like I said when I was talking about Halloween 5, I think that the ending of this film is one of the greatest endings in a horror film ever. Might even be the greatest ending. And it's really regretful that they didn't continue that idea in Halloween 5. Danielle Harris is such a fantastic actress. I have no idea why she doesn't appear in more films. I mean, she's so talented. I don't know if her rates are through the roof, but most of the films I have with her, it's like a tiny cameo appearance. They plaster her name over the cover, but she's in it for about 30 seconds or something. But why? Because she's so gifted. And in here, it's one of the great child actress performances. I love the relationship between her and Rachel. Michael is great in this. The atmosphere, the opening with the storm, the Halloweeny atmosphere, even the bit part characters, the minor characters like that religious lunatic who picks up Loomis are fun. From start to finish, this is how you make a sequel. After Halloween 3, it didn't go the way they wanted it to. They had to come back with a Michael story, and they couldn't have done a better job. This is one of my all-time favourite films. So, Halloween 4 is my number 1 film in the Halloween franchise. Thank you for watching this, if you did watch it, and I want to wish a really happy Halloween to anyone who is watching this. Have a great day, everybody, and I will be back soon with my horror novel reviews. Take care and bye for now.